Good morning. Thank you for stopping by Sandra P's Gen Extra. Thank you so much for stopping by Sandra P's Gen Extra. I wanted to have a quick live. I did a live Married to Medicine review yesterday. And during my live Married to Medicine review, Real Housewives of Atlanta alumni, Apollo Nida, and also, well, actually the real alumni is Phaedra Parks. She is returning to Real Housewives of Atlanta. She has finished her time on Married to Medicine, and she's no longer going to be Married to Medicine. She's not even attending the reunion. So, and I'm happy about that. I don't think that she needs to give any more of her time over there at Married to Medicine. Good morning. Welcome to Sandra P's Gen Extra. I'm doing a quick live. It's an impromptu live. It's going to be a short one. If I get a good 30 minutes in, that will be good. But I'm not even sure that it will be that. So just like, comment. I love your comments. If you're in the bushes, I understand that. I appreciate that. Happy Tuesday to you, Linda Gamble, my moderator. I appreciate you so much. We're going to go back in time with Real Housewives of Atlanta because from the Married to Medicine episode, yesterday when I did my live review, I was fresh off watching it. I had only watched it one time, and it was a good episode. I gave the episode a 10 out of 10. One of my creators that I like to watch, Kicking It with Courtney, she found the humor in the episode. When I watched it, I was really annoyed with the episode. I'm glad that I got to see Courtney's review because there was a lot of humor in it, but there were some serious underlying issues in it as well, which is what triggered me when I first watched it. Trishka 612, one of my moderators, and my sister, good morning. Good morning. Thank you for stopping in. Mama B's, Grand Rising. Thank you for stopping in. I'm speaking about a quick Married to Medicine live review that I did yesterday, and I'm pulling in some clips from an old Real Housewives of Atlanta episode. So this is from season 7, and it's episode 14. And this is Phaedra Parks and Apollo Nida, which we just saw on Married to Medicine. Dr. Heavenly brought the two of them back together by inviting Apollo Nida to a trip down to Key West. It's a couples trip under the false pretenses that she wants them to show people how to co-parent. Now, the two couples that she's talking about are two married couples. She's speaking about, well, there's one married couple, actually. She's speaking about Dr. Greg and his new wife, Letitia. They've been married 2 to 3 years. And she's supposedly bringing Apollo Nida in because he's such a good example of co-parenting with his wife, Phaedra. Letitia and Dr. Gregory don't have any children yet. I hope they're blessed with children soon, if that is for them. Quad is his ex-wife. She's there with a man that she's calling King. He is her boyfriend. They're supposedly so in love. They went live last night and spent the time bringing people up to speak negatively about another cast member. But good morning, Kicking It with Courtney. I was just talking about you in your Married to Medicine review. Everybody watch that if you haven't yet. It was really excellent. It was funny. Please like the video if you've just come in. But I'm going back in time with Apollo and Phaedra to prove why Dr. Heavenly is a liar, since she's saying that she brought him in for good intentions and blaming Phaedra for not seeing her good intentions, that they're supposed to be able to show people how to positively co-parent. When Dr. Gregory and Letitia don't have any children yet, Quan and King are dating. They're not even married, and they don't have any children yet. We're going to go back in time, and I'm going to do it old school because I don't have time to do StreamYard and all of that. I'm going to try to show you the best I can. This is better with the low light. This is Apollo. I have to admit, I do still have a soft spot for Apollo. You weren't supposed to be here, so I didn't know who you left it with. He's changing a lot. Who remembers this? Season 7. This is fair use. I'll keep stopping it. Not yet. Let's see. I think if I keep stopping it, it'll be okay. Okay, this is actually season 7, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Phaedra is still in that house. That's the marital home Apollo has walked in. He's driven up. He came in through the garage, which was a funny thing. He still had a garage door open. He came in. Here's your garage door opener. Gave her garage door. She's having all the locks changed in the house. He's supposed to have been reporting to prison that day, but he shows up at their house.
In custody several hours ago, but because it is Apollo, I'm not shocked that he's on the lam. Luckily, our children are with my mom, safe. Hey, my clothes, can you please make sure that they get in my drawer? What clothes? My clothes in the laundry room. What clothes? I know your boyfriend has clothes here. Oh, okay. I don't know. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, and his is definitely went out the window at this point. You changing the garage openers, the locks, and everything. I am. I'm not changing locks on you. I'm changing locks on anybody that's got a key. And I don't know who else have a key. Come here for a minute.
He's calling her over. There's a bunch of people in the house, though.
You want to call the police for me? No, I'm not. Hello? Don't blame me right now. What is going on with you? Why are you changing all this stuff around here? Because it's for my safety. You kept the same locks on these houses when the original owners owned the house. I did. Oh, I couldn't find anyone that would do it. I changed everything in this house. Okay, all right. Well, then why didn't you change them, Apollo? Every money, every piece of dime I put in this house is right here in the house. Okay. Everything. Every hand, every door, every that needs to be in the house, every door. Okay. I might leave you with nothing because I built this whole mother house. Since you want to talk to me? This is my. Okay. I told you stop playing with me. You're acting crazy, not me. You want to change on me? You change it. No. You better come get him. Because I don't want to call the police on him. Just come get him, Bun. Apollo's friend Bun, he is a nice guy, and so I am hoping he can maybe talk some sense into Apollo. So, he's seen his kids. Seen them already? Yes, all he's doing is mess with me. And I was calling him report. I have 72 hours to report from the date they gave it to me. Yeah, well, what I'm saying to you, I don't know what your situation is. You running from the law too, child? No, I ain't running from nobody. He is not thinking about his kids. Okay. So you need not get yourself in trouble. You need to get your little buddy and get the hell out of here. Okay. I just don't want no problems with Apollo. Okay. And you know he's crazy. Apollo saw our children last night for several hours and sent Aydin into hysterics and tears by telling him that he was going to prison and the police officers were going to take him away. He made Aydin believe that they were going to kill him. And so he's doing the same song and dance to gain sympathy from anyone who will listen to him and believe his crazy lies.
Okay, there's a lot in that scene, y'all. I'm gonna break a little bit down and then I'll finish it because I don't know if the video will be flagged or not. I'm so new, I'm not monetized, and it is fair use, and I'm sharing it as Bravo TV's property. But we see how volatile Apollo is. He pulls up, Phaedra's having locks changed in the house. He has been at the house the night before for hours with the children, but he's telling his friend that he wants to come see his kids. He didn't say anything about Aydin and little Mr. President when he came up. He's talking about what she's doing to the house. He's supposed to be reporting to prison that day. So this is a person, and I like Apollo. I like Phaedra. I'm not a fan of either one of them, but I can see right for right and wrong for wrong. Dr. Heavily in this situation is 100% wrong because this is who she invites on the trip. And we've seen Apollo be kind of volatile. And this is volatile, even with the way that the music is in the scene, the fact that he's calling her aside. And actually, the interesting part is one of our friends that we know is an executive producer of this episode. His initials are CK.
Okay, Apollo. Of course not. Okay. But it's crazy that you have someone over here doing all this.
All right, he's pulling off. That's her little assistant. Phaedra is funny, even though it's serious. She's funny. The assistant's laughing, but it's serious.
Hopefully he says enough to turn himself in for the marshal, shoot him down like a dog.
Now, Phaedra.
Sorry you had to hear that foolish outburst.
Look at this fool backing up the street.
You want to change on me? You will. You change it.
Thank you for liking the video, everybody. I have 9 likes and 8 people in here. Now he has a drill. Be careful. Look at this. He still has the drill. He put it down.
I don't want to hear what you gotta say. Stop it. Well, you need to start acting like you got good sense. What in the world is he doing? I'm really not sure what he's capable of at this moment because he has nothing to lose. No, just let him go. I'm not going to call the police on him. Just let him go. Just let him go. I'm very protective of Apollo. Despite everything that he has done, he is the father of my children, and I don't want to see anything bad happen to him.
Yes, Bond.
Let his friend get him. Young man, if you borrow my stuff or use my stuff, please put it back.
He's got the guy that is supposed to be installing the locks shaking. But he's being polite. Young man, if you borrow my stuff, please put it back. And the assistant has the phone in hand. But if you ever been around a situation where it's volatile, but it's also calm, you know the people, you don't know what's going to happen. It's nerve-wracking and it's scary. And the assistant probably wanted to call the police. But I'm just going to say about me. I don't know anybody else experienced with the police. But I would take my chances with my husband or ex-husband, even with a drill in his hand, over the police. And some people feel the same way. And also, Apollo is supposed to be turning himself in that same day. So she knows that eventually he's going to turn himself in. But I understand her not calling the police. And the cameras are there as well. So I don't know. I can't judge her for that. I don't judge people. I've been in a lot of different situations. I learned not to judge people. But I'm going to finish up the scene because it's really just a few more seconds, and then I'm going to read comments. But I just want to bring back, since we saw Married to Medicine and heard a lot of what Dr. Heavenly was saying, I want to show people Apollo and Phaedra's relationship, where they've come from, where they are now, where they're able to co-parent, and then for somebody, just for a show, to throw a monkey wrench in what these people have going on.
Sentencing? Yeah. You left me when I was supposed to record? I'm praying for you, though. You pray for me? I sure am. You should. You took everything from me. Did I, baby? You should pray for me. Make sure you mail me my key and my file. All right. Now, you got all these people brainwashed? That's terrible. Make sure you do what's right and have what's available to me when I come home, please. Okay. Now, Vaughn, don't let him come back because the police is going to come and get him now.
He took off in the car finally, and Bun took him. I'm going to read some comments, and I'm going to add some more of my commentary. And this is just a quick live, everybody, because there are going to be lives going on that I want to get to. Everybody was speaking. Linda Gamble came in. Good morning, beautiful Glam Rocks. Thank you so much for stopping in. She's speaking to everyone. Kicking It with Courtney and Glam Rocks are amazing creators, and they'll probably have a live this morning. I think Glam did not have hers. Actually, that's why I'm here, because I'd be in the bushes over there. And then Kicking It with Courtney, check in with her later, but also watch the Married to Medicine review, which gives a funny take on it, because there were funny parts that happened. Yeah, Kicking It with Courtney says CK probably called Apollo. He was the executive producer at that time of that episode, and he has mastered bringing people into uncomfortable situations that could kick off and not just be a TV thing. Paula came in and spoke to everybody. Thank you for coming in. CC is giving that Phaedra's now iconic line, get away from me with this Apollo. She said, go away from me with this Apollo. And it's attached, it's added to pop culture lexicon from this scene. I wanted one of the men to step in to diffuse Apollo. And CC, yes, that would have been nice. They were workers there. The guy that was changing the locks, Bun is his friend, that's his contemporary. The cameramen are there. They don't like to break the fourth wall. I think he would have had to become violent. But when he picked up that drill, just picking up an instrument, to me, that is a threat. But Phaedra was speaking in such a calm tone, even though we still gonna get a lot of slick Phaedra type remarks. She wasn't antagonizing him. He was already antagonized because the people were there working on the house, changing locks. And he came in, the beginning of the scene, he comes in through the garage and he couldn't get in through the front door. They were changing locks on the front door. And then he returns a second time. And then this is, everything's allegedly, and in my opinion, and it's under the Copyright Act of 1976, Section 107, and it's for fair use, just making commentary, and it's for entertainment purposes. But there is a book out there, and I'm not a fan of the lady that wrote the book, but what Apollo reported himself to prison for were the white-collar crimes. Apollo and also his brother served their sentence for that, and Phaedra's name was on a lot of people's lips. So I don't know. She handled him the way that she needed to handle him. Keep in mind, Phaedra had 2 small children, 2 toddlers, 2 sons. Also keep in mind at the end when he's saying, you took everything from me, make sure you have everything that is mine when I come out. Phaedra also fell out with Candy. A lot of Apollo's items, Candy and Ty were allowing them to be stored in her garage. So that's another reason I don't know why Apollo coming over there looking for stuff. He's talking about clothes that are, get my clothes out of the laundry and put them in a drawer, something like that. So there is a lot going on in this scene. And I know Carlos was in the corner, just almost peeing on himself from excitement. Trudge 612. Dr. Heavenly is FOS. She is, can't stand her, can't wait till her fakeness is really revealed. Trudge, I think it's coming. I think it's on the way. I think people are seeing what Dr. Heavenly is, especially when we go back in time. Those of us that have watched Real Housewives of Atlanta, watch Married to Medicine and see where it's at from the beginning. Kicking it with Courtney. I love that about you. We listen and we don't judge. That's true, Kicking it with Courtney. I try. Dr. Heavenly, okay, I read that one. Cece says, I knew Phaedra was done, looking at her face and her responses. Yes, Cece. And then on Married to Medicine, when Phaedra was already on the boat and Dr. Heavenly calls Apollo, she's scared the man gonna miss the boat. She knows she's causing mischief. And Apollo walks up with Shireen, who they didn't know was coming. He walked up with Shireen. They get on the boat, and Phaedra's explaining to the people, this is the woman that was cheating with him while we were still married, and I was pregnant with my second child, the one that they called Mr. President, Dylan. So this is the background of Apollo and Phaedra. And Shireen is now his wife and have the nerve to open her mouth to speak to Phaedra. Heavenly called herself introducing them. Oh yeah, I know Phaedra for years. Like Phaedra is gonna treat this lady like she's anything. And she was the one visiting him in prison because Phaedra was already cutting ties. And a lot of people had a problem with that because people are accusing Phaedra of things that there's been no proof. And Apollo and his brother served that time. So we have to be careful with that. But I can understand why people think there might be brains behind the operation. Because I don't think Apollo's ever been accused of being brains behind anybody's operation. I'm going to read some more comments. Thank you so much, Linda Gamble. She said there's 13 likes and 13 in the chat. She spoke to Glam Rocks. CC and everyone speaking to Glam Rocks. Mama Bees, thank you for the update as well. Kicking it with Courtney says she is a lawyer. Kicking it with Courtney, yes, she is a lawyer. And she has a lot of connections. And when she and Candy fell out, Candy does say that Phaedra is able to do things behind the scenes. This is why the people that don't like Phaedra really don't like Phaedra. She said Phaedra does a lot of things behind the scenes. She said even when she was opening up OLG, there was things with permits and stuff like that. Now Candy, Kicking It with Courtney, loves Escape, and she is an Escape, maybe the 5th member. I don't know if that's the mama or if it's Courtney. But Candy is claiming that permits and stuff are being held up and that Phaedra knows people at the city. But the people that eat there, I hear both things, that it's good. I hear people say that it's kind of like a fan type place that you would just go. if you want soul food, you want to take your pictures and that sort of thing. So I don't know. Phaedra gets a lot of blame. Some may be true, some maybe not true. But Dr. Heavenly had no business bringing this man to a couples cast trip. And then next week, I'm looking forward to the episode. We're going to see that both couples respectively ended up leaving the trip because of Dr. Heavenly, because other things were happening behind the scenes with Phaedra. She's there with a boyfriend. Shake has no real obligation to protect her or with her. And now Apollo is there with Shireen. Shireen's a fan. And Shireen, allegedly, and in my opinion, I heard that Shireen had a couple of friends with her. For what? So Phaedra gets a private jet and jets on out of there. And Dr. Heavenly had a problem with that. Phaedra called a private jet and left. Yes, if you are able to do so, that's exactly what I would have done. Get on a private jet and get up out of there, because who knows what's going to happen to her down in Key West. Linda Gamble said, Dr. Simone said a lot of them need to do self-reflection. Linda Gamble, I would agree with Dr. Simone on that. I'd like her to include herself, because she was also blaming Sweet Tea for the altercation that Sweet Tea and Dr. Heavenly were having, because Sweet Tea was finally speaking up and letting Dr. Heavenly know, why did you invite these people? And then Dr. Heavenly trying to jump up and fall back in the water. Dr. Heavenly and I are the same age. At 54, we're not standing up quickly to do anything, especially on sand and in the water. So I don't know what Dr. Heavenly thought she was doing, but I was glad she sat her butt back down. And that wasn't something she wanted to do. She was sat down. Cece says, the fact that the other ladies were okay with what Elaine did stains them in my eyes even further. Me too, Cece. Because those are wives on that boat. You think that somebody would stick up for Phaedra? Because let's get the Hilton Head lady that Curtis was traipsing through the airport with and bring her on a trip. They would never do that to Dr. Jackie. They were mad at Dr. Simone because she planned a trip to Hilton Head. So evidently, nobody can go to Hilton Head, South Carolina, because Curtis got caught cheating there. Yet they would bring a whole side chick turned white. And then also Apollo, we saw how he had a controlled, I'm not going to call it violence because nobody touched anybody. And he even said that. Yeah, I didn't touch you, right? And then she didn't want to call the cops. She called his friend. But we saw how Apollo, how volatile that could have been. Dr. Heavenly really liked to throw a match, and that was pretty dangerous. But they would have never done that to Dr. Jackie, to dig up one of Curtis's women and bring them on a trip. Simone, I think, apologized to Jackie because Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly said they weren't going to Hilton Head until Simone apologized. So it's different strokes for different folks, and it's not fair. Kicking it with Courtney, not a Candy fan per se. I just love Escape. Yeah, Kicking it with Courtney. Candy has grown on me over the years because one thing I love about Candy is her work ethic. You can say what you will about Candy, but that young lady has been hustling since she was a young teen. I know Tiny was like she's kind of a ghetto superstar before that. I'm not from Atlanta, but I always had ties in Atlanta. And she was local doing commercials and here and there and always doing a lot of stuff. And they've just been really working hard since they were in their early teens. And now they're in their probably early 40s. I put them at millennials, maybe mid to older millennials, but they're still working. They're out there like SWV. SWV is older than them. So I would be contemporaries with SWV. But they work really hard. So I give Candy that all the time. I like Phaedra more than Candy for TV. Courtney, I would say I do too. Phaedra's always going to have those comeback lines. And people try to say, well, she pays for them, she practices them. I don't know, but they get delivered. I don't know who pre-wrote those lines in that scene, but she stuck the landing for me. Cece, the way the OLG is run, I'm prone to believe Todd and the team were learning off the cuff, working with the city on permits, just my opinion. Cece, I believe that's true. That happens a lot with a lot of family-run restaurants. And it's something that Todd, I don't know that he had a passion for food, but with OLG, when Cynthia gave the old lady game, because you remember Mama Joyce and her sisters, they would kind of team up on people, and Cynthia came up with that name. I forgot what the whole scenario was, but Todd decided to do the restaurant, and it became profitable. So now they have a few other properties. Some of them are really, there's a steakhouse that's supposed to have a good reputation and good food. Linda Gamble says CC Heavenly and Dr. Jackie knew about Apollo coming. Yeah, they did. And Dr. Heavenly tried to say in the scene when she was getting her hair done, Phaedra knew. Phaedra was kind of non-committal, but I wish Phaedra had said, please don't bring him because we don't know what can happen when he comes. He's one of those people that are unpredictable. I'm a calm person. I'm an introverted. I like to sit back and watch people. Those type people can be very exciting to be around, but they can also be kind of nerve-wracking because you really don't know what's going to happen when you're with a person like that. They can be charming. You can have the best time of your life, or the police could be called, and a lot of different stuff can happen. So that wasn't Dr. Heavenly's decision to bring those people there and poke that bear. I didn't like what she did because they've worked on their relationship over the years. For him to be able to pick his sons up from the house, same house, outside the house. She doesn't let him in her house. And she told Andy Cohen that when he came to the reunion and sat behind her. Linda Gamble says, CC, I agree. Glam Rocks, I love me some Phaedra. I do too, Glam Rocks. Kicking it with Courtney. She landed her lines on Married to Med this week too. I was like, yes, Phaedra. Yes, Kicking It with Courtney. There was so much going on in that episode. I did my quick live review and I left out some of it. But when Shireen finally, after years, now we found out on the Married to Medicine review last year, Phaedra said that she had no relationship with that woman. She didn't intend to have any, but she didn't give like the down and dirty until this past episode that Shireen was cheating with Apollo throughout Phaedra's pregnancy of their second son, and then going to visit the man in prison. And then he ended up marrying her when he get out. So Phaedra has no respect for this lady. And then for her to speak and call her Faye. I see people say Faye on the social media or something. So Shireen, you got a fake account following Phaedra, looking at Phaedra? Because I follow Phaedra. I follow her under Sandra P's GenXtra. I'm not embarrassed to follow Phaedra. I don't have to hide to follow her. I follow her. And she puts up fire pictures. I love to travel. I admire when people go places. She was in Dubai over Christmas. Freaking frack, her and Portia was over there showing out. But they're two single women, two divorced women. So Shireen, and then she finally got her moment, and it was embarrassing. Phaedra, she called her a bad built. She got maybe 3 B's out. I think she didn't want to hurt her too bad, but that was so embarrassing. Talking about Faye. And Faye said, my name is not Faye, you bad built. But I was like, oh my goodness. But that was funny. And the people on the boat, Dr. Eugene called them stowaways. I don't think it's stowaways if they've been invited. Glam Rock says, Dr. Heavy Teeth marriage is in trouble. I can tell she's doing too much. Yes, Glam Rocks, Dr. Heavenly is spiraling out of control, starting with that scene with Sweet Tea. Oh, who invited? And Sweet Tea asked Shireen first, who invited you? And Shireen said, Dr. Heavenly invited me. So this means that after Dr. Heavenly invited Apollo, we heard it on the phone, she said, is your wife coming? He said, no. Dr. Heavenly called Shireen, and her being a married woman, Dr. Jackie being a married woman, Dr. Simone married, Doctors Mimi and Steve, nobody spoke up and said a word. That was wrong. What Dr. Heavenly did was wrong, and it could have had consequences. It's Tay-T, good morning. Thank you so much for stopping in. I'm blowing a kiss to you too. I follow you under your, it's Tay-T is a very talented event planner. She is amazing. Cece, Apollo was dumb to bring Shireen. Phaedra maybe wanted him to make a little change, but he just can't act right. Cece, I think that's what aggravated the situation too. I don't even think it was because Shake was there, because we've seen Apollo and Phaedra get along. And even if it's just for the sake of the kids or whatever, we never had that type conflict. And Shireen shouldn't be opening her mouth to speak to Phaedra. I don't like side chicks opening their mouth to speak to the wife. And I know she got the papers now, but that doesn't mean anything to me. He over there putting her head between the washer and the dryer. And it's sad. I don't like to see that, but Shireen knew he was doing all that before. Then called security. Kicking it with Courtney. It was a lot to unpack in that episode. It was, Courtney. It was. SAT is laughing at Glam Rocks. CC, I know one thing. If you meet Phaedra, do not call her Faye. CC, I wouldn't do that. That is so disrespectful. And Shireen was trying to be disrespectful. And the way she pulled up and looking at, she had no right to address Phaedra at all. I wouldn't have said anything to Phaedra. And Phaedra put her on her back so quick. I can't even remember what she's bad built, but I'm going to have to look at that again because I've only watched the episode once and it was so much. Triple B, CC has it. Bad built. Yeah. Oh, okay. Come on, Phaedra. CC is greeting. It's Tay-T. Sexy Diva. Good morning, Sexy Diva. I'm glad you made it live. Glad to see you. Kicking it with Courtney. Speaking of it's Tay-T. And everybody is blowing kisses to each other. That was just a quick little update I wanted to do. I'm right at a half hour. I just love it when it turns out that way. I appreciate you spending the morning with me on my quick live and my update. And this is mainly, I just wanted to let people know about Dr. Heavenly, because Dr. Heavenly, she's over there on social media fighting for her life. And they're not going to have Phaedra at the reunion which Andy Cohen brought her on there to help the numbers. And I think that's what bothered the Married to Medicine women. So the older women, they want to sit back and complain, talk about something. We're not going to judge anybody's marriage or any of that. You've been married 20, 30 years and things are getting raggedy or whatever. You still want to be on TV, but you're not going to share anything. That's not fair to the viewer. And I'm kind of surprised at Toya. She's acting as a little bit of a bone carrier, but she could do more as well. They could actually help Letitia make this a lot better show. If not, I'd like to see, in my opinion, Andy Cohen get rid of Dr. Heavenly, put Quad on pause, unless she's going to be real too. I'm sick of what she's over there doing as well. And Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone can both exit if they're not going to do anything else. We had new doctors a few seasons ago, Dr. Alicia and Dr. Audra, two beautiful Black dentists. And Dr. Audra's husband was a doctor as well. And Dr. Heavenly harassed and made fun of and picked at Dr. Alicia on social media and on the show. Dr. Alicia did not even get a second season. Toya picked at Audra, made fun of her. Her and her husband was wearing some kind of matching Champion sweatsuits. And Audra is a dentist. She's got clothes. She's got money.
According to
Alexa, stop. Alexa is nosy. I think she spies on people. Excuse me, everybody. But Dr. Audra, when she got into it with Toya, Dr. Audra showed up at a party and had pulled Toya, the whole information on her in Dr. Eugene's house. And when she got through with Toya, to me, that was fun shade too, because it is public record. When she got through with Toya didn't bother Dr. Audra anymore. But Dr. Audra didn't get to come back either. So we need to do something about the original. And Dr. Heavenly in season 2, as we know, Mariah fought to get her on there. But I would like to see Bravo TV and Andy Cohen do something about the original crew linking up to bully and argue with these younger women, because it's actually escalating and the show's ratings are in the dump. So I'd like to see something done about that. And I want to thank everybody for stopping in this quick live. Let me see if there's any more new comments. I'll read them. Linda Gamble said, Heavenly needs to worry about Dr. Damon and the Becky. Yeah, we keep hearing that, Linda Gamble, about Dr. Damon. There's something going on, but there's no interest between her and Daddy. Daddy does not see it for Buddy at all. Dr. Heavy Teeth is miserable. That's what Glamrock said, and I have to agree with it. And Cece says, I agree. Get rid of Elaine, pause or get rid of Quad, and make Jackie a friend of, come in for fun events or possibly real mentoring professionally. Cece, that would be a start. Those are the cancers, in my opinion, that are there now. Heavenly and Quad, they're not good at all. They're not fun. And they're doing so much on social media. And I don't mind that. I have fun with social media as well. But Dr. Heavenly doesn't want anybody else to do it. But Letitia has taken a page out of Dr. Heavenly's book. She's over here on YouTube. She has a really nice channel. I still haven't finished the rest of her video. She showed us some of the behind the scenes in New York. She looks so cute on Watch What Happens Live, her and Dr. Contessa, and they had a great time in New York. I didn't like Andy Cohen steering all the questions and the viewers he brought up, steering questions about Dr. Heavenly and Quad, because their fans got right over there on Instagram talking about, all these two talk about is Dr. Heavenly and Quad. That's what the people were asking them about. But I would like to see Sweet Tea learn how to swing things around back to herself and what she has going on, because she is an interesting person that's on the show. I like watching her. I like her with Dr. G. I think she calms him down, but sometimes he can get a little hype, but that's just Dr. G. Tresh 612, good for Toya. Can't stand her either. But Ryan needs to come back and drag her tail again. Yeah, they used to literally drag each other. And then they got to where they were just doing the words, which is fine, which is what I love. Kicking it with Courtney, great review and walk down memory lane. Thank you so much, everybody. And please stay on the YouTube streets. I will see you out there. And I think Courtney has a live coming up as well. So look for that this morning. And everybody, thank you for stopping in to Sandra P's GenXtra. And like, comment, also subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Thank you. Goodbye.